Hey guys, hey, thanks for joining my YouTube channel. I appreciate you being on. And today I want to get into another subject in reference to building the online business. And as we've talked about previously, we talked about the high income skills, why they're necessary. And just to recap, I spoke about lead generation as being critical, and copywriting, as well as your business sales presentation and how you go about doing that. And part of that, all as far as those three components, part of that is the email swipes. Why they're important, what you do as far as when you send an email, as far as the subject line and how it should be. It should be something that should attract the individual that's opted into your initial opt-in page or your landing page, right? And it should be congruent, right? We talked all about that. So what is all this? All of this really is the process within your sales funnel. Okay, each of these components, be it the copyright, the lead generation, or your presentation overall, it's all part of bringing about the foundational components together. And as you're starting out, it may be challenging because you're still in the learning mode, and you're trying to put things into action, and they may not be congruent. They may not be succinct, or feel like that you're on point. So that's the subject of today. Is that okay? There comes a time, and you need to decide whether you're going to continue on spinning your wheels, or at that time you want to go ahead and outsource. Yeah, I use that word, outsource. Yeah, and it may not be easy for you to do financially, but you need to look at certain components within that sales funnel. For example, lead generation. So how to put up Facebook ads or Google ads or other social media platform ads. The point is, if you're not good at that, or you've gone through learning and you felt like, okay, I did it, but it may not have been the best use of your money. So that's the time or decision phase that you need to really hunker down, if you will, and think about. Okay, at this time, let me hire a professional, somebody that I can outsource. So, there's several different communities out there. There's Facebook pages, and that you can go into, or groups, I should say, where you can hire someone. And it may not actually, to be honest, cost you as much. Maybe it'll cost you an extra 20 or 30 bucks just to get them engaged. Fiverr.com is another platform where you can go, and there's several others. Just go ahead and Google those. So why I bring this up is that you may have learned a lot of concepts. You may have done a lot of what those concepts taught. But at the end of the day, if you're not seeing the ROI, the return, right, on your investment, then you need to have a decision. That's where there's the review gate, if you will, as we call that in project management. It's a review to understand, okay, what have we done successfully thus far, and what could we do better, as far as perhaps even outsourcing, and to allow someone else to come in to do that. So take, for example, you may have a skill that you know that you're still developing, but at the end of that is that you may put in like 10 to 15, who knows, even more hours just putting something together. So is that worth the time that equates to money? Think about it that way. Your effort, where you could pay somebody maybe for an hour's time of their time, right? And you could pay them maybe 20, 30 bucks, and they get that accomplished for you. And they do it in such a way because they're experts. They've already done it successfully in the market. So that's where an outsourcing opportunity would arise. Okay, so very important. It's all part of developing high income skills. We talked about the three previously, and that I mentioned. The lead generation, and making sure you have good copyright, and making sure you have good business sales presentation skills. But this is also part of it, managing your online business. So you have to really manage and understand what's best for you and for your team. It may just be a family member or two. That's your team. That's part of your team as you're starting out. For me personally, it is myself, my wife, and I've got my kids. And if I do hire out, I will hire out for certain specific things only. And that's the other point, is that makes it easier for the individual that you're hiring, that you're engaging them for something specific. And that way it allows them just to do that part of it, take care of it, and you're done with that agreement, that contract, right? And if you're not specific, then that individual could, it may not be the best use of your money, how you spent it. Okay, so keep all this in mind. So when you choose to outsource, this is the other thing, is if you can partner up on that level with that individual. Let's say, for example, that I gave you regarding Facebook ads, maybe he or she can get that done within an hour, but you could tell them that you would like to shadow during that time, or buddy up, because you want to maybe have them do a screen share. You can do a video of that, and then you can review it over and over again. So that's another way of just making sure that you have that repetition in your mind, because that skill eventually, as it's learned, then you can do it yourself. So you don't have to outsource. But it's important, especially as you get started. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of components, as we've talked about, as part of your sales funnel, that you may have a lot of action going on, but not a lot of return. So that's where you have to decide, what to do as far as getting outsourcing done or not. Okay. All right. I'm going to go ahead and sign up for this portion of it. Again, this is all about outsourcing, and be sure to share your comments below. And if you have any questions, let me know how I can help you. Thank you. Take care. I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.